I think, it's human nature. People tend to think, well, accidents are something that happens to somebody else. It'll not happen to me, or that has never happened to me. When I left the yard that day with the boys in the tractor, I had their company. They wanted to be with their father out in the farm. Things don't get much better than that. We were driving down the road and we were chatting away and laughing away and just... We have 4 children. James is now 9. He was 8 at the time of the accident. And Simon is the baby of the family. He's 5. Obviously the 2 boys are quite interested in the farming and being outside. It was the first day of the Halloween holidays for the children. Pretty much a normal day on the farm. I had a tractor that had broken down, and I was talking to the mechanic that was going to fix it, and he said, listen, get the tractor down to my workshop. The 2 boys said to me, oh, Daddy, can we come with you? So I thought, well, that's always nice to have the boys, sort of with you in the farm. 2 boys get up into the tractor cab with me. One boy was sitting in the smallest boy, Simon, was sitting in the seat beside my main seat, and James was standing just in it, inside the cab. When we were driving down the road, we hit a sort of bumpy bit in the road. At that stage, you thought everything's fine, there's nothing wrong here, we're going along, and James sort of stumbled against the door. Now, whether the door wasn't snibbed right, or whether he reached out and steadied himself as he did on the handle at the door and accidentally opened the latch, but James fell out, and as you can see, it's a fair high tractor. You're probably looking about 1.5 meters off the ground. So you may think, and these things that, you would do things differently. I would grab him and I would do this and I would do that. James was out of the tractor and fallen before I sort of realised what was happening. So obviously I stopped the tractor as quick as possible, and James was sort of lying semi-conscious on the side of the road, and I rang for an ambulance straight away. On the way up in the ambulance, he was drifting in and drifting out of consciousness. I rang my wife, obviously one of those phone calls you just never want to make. And I said, listen, you just need to come down here, there's been an accident, James has fallen out of the tractor. She was very upset and came down as soon as she could. It was a very worrying time. He was then put into an induced coma, basically to protect him from the head injury, and obviously that was the way they decided to treat him. So at that stage he was in an induced coma and on a ventilator, basically life support machine. And we spent all that night in intensive care. He had a double fracture of the skull. Farmers feel proud that their boys or their family are interested in the farm, and you want to encourage that. But believe you me, when I was sitting beside that hospital bed in intensive care at 2 o'clock in the morning, I didn't feel proud at all. I felt, this was my fault. I shouldn't have had him in the tractor, or I should have grabbed him, I should have stopped him. But it's too late, you can't do that. The accident happens in the blink of an eye, and then after that you have to face up to that and live with the consequences. He has made a remarkable recovery, and went back up to see the specialist just after Christmas in the Royal, and he pretty much gave him the all clear. We're very lucky in that he has recovered in the way he has, considering the seriousness of the accident. Accident's the thing you hear about in the news or in the radio and TV, and it's only until you're involved in an accident you realise, well, that's me on the news, that was my child in hospital, that you realise, well, farm accidents, they really can happen so easily, and you just have to be ultra cautious. It puts a vastly different perspective on life and probably how you do things. And it has changed the way the practices you carry out in the farm. Even the children are nearly a taboo sort of out round machinery, because you're maybe being ultra overcautious, but I think that's just a natural reaction. After the accident, I've since learned that the legal age for children to be allowed in tractors, they have to be 13 or over. And I suppose before the accident, you think, oh, it'll not happen to me, it's fine to have the boys in the tractor, but no matter what, and tractors being tractors, they're not possibly like cars with
proper seat belts. You know, you get all different ranges of tractors. So if you have an accident in a tractor, or a door opens, or even something else crashes into you that you have no control over, if there's a child in that tractor, it's, you know, it can have very serious consequences. And I think that's the one thing I have learned. You know, it can happen to you, and don't have the children in the tractor.